What's up, guys? It's your boy Desmond with the Lens, and today we are talking about the Neewer Q3. Now, as you might know, I normally use the Neewer Vision 4. Those are the ones that I've been taking with me because those were really the first ones I was introduced to. But now it's time to move up in the world, so I had to get something that was a bit easier to carry around and less weight on my back and on the tripod. So we're going to do just a real quick review about it, and I'll go more into details in another video. Now, as you can see, when it comes in the box, you do not get this bracket that you are desperately going to need if you want to attach any kind of modifiers to it, or if you want to attach it to a tripod with a modifier. But removing that, you get the flash itself, you get the battery pack that comes with it, and you get a trigger, and you get a charger for your battery. I don't have that on the table, but it comes with it. Right now, the price has been fluctuating a little bit because of the holidays, but if you look at it, it should be this price right here at the time of recording. So maybe later on it might be something different, but if you can get it now, you can get it now. It's real simple. Slide it in, turn it on, and then you'll be good. It does come with another mount that you can just have this just attached to a tripod. However, when it's like this, it's more risk to fall and break by itself when it hits the ground, as well as the fact that you can't really put too many modifiers on it except for the mag mods, but we'll talk about that later. The trigger that does come with it, depending on which version you buy, because you can buy one of just the flash, and you can buy one with the flash and the trigger. The trigger will be able to use this for multiple Q3s. You don't have to buy multiple triggers, just buy one with the trigger, then every other one you can buy without it. And they'll all be able to sync up to 5, which is great. I mean, I don't really know anyone that's going to have 5 Q3s using it like that, but you might be that person, so who knows? Whatever you need to get it done, that's what you need. I personally only have 2 of them. I was thinking about getting a third one, but I'm on the fence because of some of the cons that come with this product. So the first con is you cannot use this at full power for too long. Meaning after, I want to say, your 10th to 15th shoot at full power, the recycle time becomes trash. It becomes 30 seconds to a minute per shot. So if you're outdoors and you're using this like that, this is not going to be the thing for you. And you get better the lower power that you go. So at 1 full power after the 25th shot, then the recycle time goes up to a minute. At half power after the 35th shot, then it goes down to a minute. At a quarter power after that shot, then you go down to about 50 shots before your recycle time starts to slow down, but it doesn't slow down to a minute. It slows down to like 15 to 20 seconds, which is more manageable. And then once you go any lower than that, then the recycle time just stays as it is and it doesn't overheat. I've tested this both outdoors and in studio, and regardless of if you have sun on it and it's making it overheat from both the outside and the inside, or if you're in studio with a climate control, it'll still do that. So that's one of the biggest cons about this. I know that if I'm going out, I can't use this in like direct sunlight, like at noon, but I can. It's just going to be more of a hassle because I have to really focus on what shots I'm going to get. I don't have those problems with the Neewer Vision 4, but there is, it's always a handoff when you go down from such a beefier model to such a smaller model. But other than that, I have enjoyed being able to carry this kind of everywhere and using it without having really any real weight restriction. I've been able to take this with me on planes without any problem. It has fallen quite a bit, but as you can see, it's still fine. There's no real even like scuff marks. Like there's a little bit of scuff marks on the glass that you can't really see, but it's nothing that will break it per se. Alright. Now looking at the Neewer itself, we're going to look at the face pack really quickly. On the side, you have the on and off buttons, and on this side, you have a little lever so that it pops out the battery. Turn it on. Makes a sound when it comes on, and you have a whole bunch of things on here. You might not be able to see it because of how everything's fluctuating. However, it'll show if it's in manual mode, it'll show which frequency you're on, then it'll show the power, as well as this bar underneath of the letter is going to be the recycle time. That's however long it's going to take for it to be able to shoot again. At the bottom, it'll have the power, as well as if you're going to have the sound on and then what channel you're on. On the side, you have different modes. Now, one of the best things that I like about this one is that it does have a nice little modeling light function where you can have it on and it'll just be pointed at your subject. Now, if you aren't using the flash with it, you can just use this as like a light to be able to focus on the person. However, once you take a shot, the light itself will go off. So I'm gonna show you real quick. If you have epilepsy, please look away. It's just gonna be a real bright flash really quickly. So as you see, it's on, flash, off. Now you have other things on here, such as a button for high-speed sync. You have a button that will let you know that you can test everything out, as well as it'll start flashing when it starts to overheat. You have the button to turn on and off the sound, and then you have the button to change the mode, the channels, and the function itself. Now, that's all that's really here. Realistically, you're not going to be playing around too much with this because you control most of the things from the trigger itself, such as the power, so that you don't have to continuously go back and forth adjusting anything. You can adjust it all from here. Now I'm going to turn this off. Fun fact, if you guys have any of the Godox A200 Pro series, then the battery is actually interchangeable from this battery to that battery. They're made the same, so I'm pretty sure that Neewer just kind of their product was inspired by the Godox version. So everything's the same, so the groove and everything. So the chargers and the batteries are interchangeable between the two. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're in a pinch, you need to hurry up and switch around, you certainly can do that. Alright, so now we're going to talk more about the trigger and kind of some of the functionalities that it has. So, much like any trigger, it has a hot shoe mount you can put onto it. They have different versions for Canon, for Sony, and for Nikon, so you gotta make sure that it aligns with whichever version you're getting. On the side of it, once I come into focus, you have the on and off button as well as the on and off light. So if you're in direct sunlight, you don't have to have this on. However, if it gets darker, you can always just turn this back on. So now when we're looking at the trigger itself, once I get into frame, I can't help but staying still. On the side, you can actually change whichever flash you have attached to that specific light. So if you have your first one on A, you can change A just by pressing A. Then you have a rotating wheel down here that will change it up and down. Same thing for B, 3. Down here, you have other functions so that you can change the channel, so that you can change high-speed sync on and off, as well as just syncing all of them together, as well as just test firing. But that's all I got for you guys today about the Neewer Q3. I am going to have just a slideshow of photos that were taken with this go past, just so that you can see how it looks. If I have any of the behind the scenes, I'm also going to be having that planned with it. So just stay tuned for that. That way you guys can get an idea of how it looks for you. Deuces.